Super 3 and the Scary Invisible Monster, written by Garth Newman and Yumna Sadan. Layla, Timber and George were the best of friends. They've been playing together since they could crawl. They played tag and hide and seek. They played in the park. They even shared their lunch. But their all-time favorite game was playing superheroes, or as they liked to call it, Super 3. Layla was cat fantastic. She could climb giant walls and had perfect night vision to watch over her friends and family. Timber was the brick slayer. He had the strength of a brick house and the heart of a lion. George was the amazing Mr. Tricks. He had the power of invisibility and could make snacks appear out of nowhere. One day, they were told that their school was closing. Through the school corridors and in their homes, they heard whispers about a giant monster called coronavirus, secret identity, COVID-19, attacking the entire world. They were told to stay at home so that the coronavirus couldn't get them. Teacher told them the virus was spread from one person to another in invisible droplets. The coronavirus entered the body when people stood too close together or if they touched surfaces where the droplets had landed after someone had coughed or sneezed. Layla hid away in her house with her mom, dad, Granny, and cat Missy. Timber stayed inside with his mom, dad, and his baby brother Vuyo. George stayed hidden with his mum, dad, sister, and dog Jet. A few days went by, and staying at home wasn't so bad for the Super 3. They chatted to each other online, and they sent each other messages on their parents' phones. But the hours turned into days, and the days turned into weeks, and they started growing more and more sad. Soon, the sadness turned into frustration and anger. Why did they need to be locked up inside? Why couldn't they just visit their friends? Why couldn't they play in the parks? Why was this invisible monster ruining their lives? Every day felt longer than the day before. What made matters worse was that Layla had a birthday coming up, and the three friends had been planning her super fantastic birthday party for weeks. Now, because of the invisible monster, their special plans were totally ruined. On the day of Layla's birthday, George and Timber watched Layla blow out candles on a video call. They were all very sad that they couldn't be together. It was on this day that the three friends realized they needed to make a plan. What was the point of being the Super 3 if they couldn't come up with a master plan to save the world? So they talked about what they could do instead of what they could not do. Rather than being angry and sad all the time, they asked themselves, what would our superheroes do? They thought long and hard about it and came to the conclusion that being super actually means caring about others. The most caring thing they could do was to try and make sure that the invisible monster's droplets didn't spread. Suddenly, all at once, the Super 3 had an amazing realization. Layla's cat fantastic superpower was keeping her hands clean, just like her cat Missy, who always kept her fur clean. Timber's brick slayer superpower was not having the strength of a lion, but that he had the strength to play without his friends, just for the time being. George realized that the amazing Mr. Tricks' superpower was not being invisible, but that he didn't need to hide. He boldly wore a mask to stop the coronavirus droplets from spreading. From that moment onwards, the Super Three removed their capes because real superheroes wear masks instead. The end.